Welcome to yet another episode of Nourished with Ruth. I am Ruth, a registered dietitian and nutritionist working in the clinical field. And in today's discussion, we are going to be discussing what nutrition really means and what it entails and what this channel will be all about. So, I want us to break down some few terms that we shall be using moving forward. Calories is the amount of energy that you get from your food, starting there. So those are the numbers that we are always looking at. You see, you're looking at how much calories am I taking, especially when you're going on a diet, how much calories am I taking? That's something that really bothers you. But let me tell you, we are going to demystify that, and I'm going to get you to a place where you're not so concerned about that number, but you're making better decisions, because we'll be discussing real nutrition for real life. Because real life is when you get an egg and tomatoes, whip them together and make a dish out of that. Real life is not when you're thinking about how many calories am I getting from this egg. We get that, right? Yes. So the other thing is we're going to look at the term nutrition. So nutrition wise, I will come and tell you it's okay to feed your cravings. Yes, very much okay. Because when you feed your cravings, you're taking yourself away from the possibility of you doing too much, because with you feeding a craving, you will be responsible enough to take little. You're feeding a craving, yes, but with caution. Why? Because you know you're not supposed to be taking too much of that. But once you start moving away from the craving, for example, I crave ice cream a lot. And for that, there are days that I would assume, ignore that craving and try get something healthier. What were the healthier options that I would go for? Maybe I would get some food, I would get some fruits, I would get something else that is not ice cream. But now, at the end of the day, I would have taken, like, let's say about 70 to 100 ml of ice cream. Had I fed my cravings, that goes to around 230 kcals. But now, I go and take a bowl of fruit salad. A bowl of fruit salad comes with about 200 kcals or kcals. That's one. And then soon after, I'll feel hungry. I'll end up taking ice cream. No, not ice cream. I'll end up taking yogurt, because I'm lying to myself that I'm going to be getting the probiotics that are in it. So that is another 130 kcals that I've taken. And eventually, at the end of the day, I'll still take the ice cream. So adding up all those calories, I've taken more than I would have taken had I fed the craving in the first place. So here I am preaching to you, feed your cravings, just with discipline. Know that yes, I'm craving this, it's not healthy, but it's okay for you to feed a craving. Another thing that I want you to know about cravings are things that can tell you that you're lacking in something. And especially when you're craving salty stuff or sugary stuff. In most cases, when you're craving salty stuff, it is usually, or ice, it's usually a sign of iron deficiency. So when you're craving such, you might need to go get your micronutrient levels checked and your mineral levels checked, for you to just identify what minerals that you're lacking. And now that brings in the term supplementation. When people say they are taking supplements, yes, when you're taking your supplements, why are you taking your supplements again? Because you want to supplement what you're not getting from your diet. So if you have a diverse diet, you don't really need supplementation, not unless you have a specific nutrient that you're low in or that you need to up, especially in kids and the elderly. And by the elderly, let me stop saying the elderly, especially in kids and people over the age of 40. Most of the times you might need to take calcium, and the reason why when you're taking calcium you take vitamin D too, it's because calcium, for the absorption of calcium we need vitamin D, because if you have too much calcium in your body, it will lower the level of vitamin D. If you have too much vitamin D in your body, it will lower the level of calcium. So the two go hand in hand. That's why that happens, even for kids. So in our next video, we will be talking about nutrition for the kids, and especially kids aged between 0 to 6 months. That's okay? Yeah. So supplementation is not something that you just do blindly, because also you don't want to have toxicities, especially of certain nutrients that we call fat soluble vitamins. That is vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Why? When you have toxicities, they have other side effects. In as much, like, too much of something is poisonous. So in as much as it's something good that you're taking, you need to be also careful, because too much of something good is poisonous. You don't want to now start, because they are fat soluble, so meaning they're going to stay in your body for longer. Unlike the water soluble vitamins like vitamin C, in as much as you get a vitamin C toxicity, you just get some, maybe some sores around your mouth, on your tongue, and the moment you stop taking it, it heals within a week. For vitamin A, D, E, K toxicities, it's a lot. So vitamin K helps with blood, with stopping bleeding, right? With blood clotting. So imagine having an excess of it, so you have a lot of clots in your body. You don't want that. Excuse me. And then we have vitamin A. It helps boost the immunity, but also when taken in excess, we have other downsides, like it can lead to fatty livers and such like things. So ideally, you don't want to have excesses of nutrients, and you also don't want to have deficiencies. So with that, that brings me to the end of today's video, because all I'm doing for these first few videos is just bringing you up to speed on things that we'll be talking about. So please don't come to me telling me that you're taking supplements because you think. You need to be sure of what is making you take a certain supplement, because so long as your diet is diverse, you don't need the supplements. Not unless you're lacking in a certain nutrient, kindly don't need to take any supplements. Another thing that I get is people asking me, is it safe for someone to use a protein diet? Just use protein, cut off carbohydrates from their diet. My answer is this: it's safe for a given period of time, for a such specific time frame, and it could also be safe for a long-term period. Why? Because our proteins, and especially if you're getting your proteins from plants, they contain starch. So our carbohydrates are starchy foods, so they contain the starch. And so if you're taking your animal proteins and plant proteins, that is the legumes and maybe things like mushrooms, you're also getting your starch from that, the energy that you need. But there's one thing that I always tell even my patients in hospital: at any given time, when you're taking a diet that lacks in either proteins or your vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, soon enough you will land in a hospital bed because of certain deficiencies. Because proteins help with muscle building, vitamins and minerals that are found in our vegetables and fruits, they help with boosting your immunity and just keeping you healthy. So in general, yes, you can survive on a protein diet, that you have your proteins and your vegetables, and nothing major will happen to your body. I'm not saying that that is what I'm encouraging, but it's a healthy choice to go by the standards of what I've just told you. So until next time, guys, see you on Friday. And we do nutrition the right way, because we only have one body and bodies don't have spare parts. This is Nourished with Ruth, and this is nutrition for real life. Okay? See you on the next one. Bye, guys.